Have you ever cracked an egg into a sizzling, buttery pan, feeling that warm rush of nostalgia as the aroma fills the kitchen? If you're over 60, chances are this simple ritual has been a comforting part of your mornings for decades. Eggs are affordable, packed with protein and so easy to cook, making them a breakfast table for good reason. But here's the catch: what if the way you've been eating them all these years is quietly working against your health? Without you even knowing it, you need to watch this video until the end, because we're about to uncover the 3 most common egg habits that could be harming your heart, brain, and digestion after 60, and reveal smarter, healthier ways to enjoy them that don't sacrifice flavor or tradition. Stick around and you'll walk away with. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now, let's get started. Let's dive into one of the most soothing and familiar sounds that fills a kitchen: the gentle crackling sizzle of an egg as it meets a hot butter-slicked frying pan. For countless individuals, particularly those over the age of 60, this sound has been a cherished part of morning routines for decades, a ritual steeped in tradition and comfort. There's an undeniable magic in watching the egg transform, its edges crisping into a delicate golden halo, the yolk settling into a rich velvety center, all while the air fills with that warm, indulgent aroma of butter and toast. For many, it's more than just breakfast. It's a sensory time capsule, whisking them back to lazy weekend mornings, family gatherings, or quieter, simpler days gone by. Yet beneath this nostalgic delight lies a sobering reality that's too often brushed aside. Frying eggs and butter, bacon, grease, or heavy oil might be silently undermining your health, especially as the years accumulate and your body becomes less forgiving. Aging brings with it a heightened sensitivity to the choices we make, and nowhere is this more evident than in how our bodies handle dietary fats. Saturated fats, the kind abundant in butter, lard, bacon, drippings, and many common cooking oils, have long been implicated in raising levels of LDL cholesterol, often dubbed the bad cholesterol. While cholesterol itself, as a complex topic and not inherently evil, our bodies needed to function, LDL specifically poses a problem when it accumulates excessively. It's the type that sticks to artery walls, forming plaque that narrows blood vessels and restricts flow, a slow, insidious process that heightens the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular complications. What makes this especially tricky is its stealthy effects. Of these dietary habits don't announce themselves with fanfare. There's no immediate alarm bell after a buttery breakfast. Instead, the damage accrues quietly year after year, until one day the warning signs, chest pain, shortness of breath, or worse, finally break through, often when it's too late to fully reverse the harm. Medical experts, including cardiologists and nutritionists, frequently cautioned that this risk becomes even more pronounced for seniors, particularly those already navigating conditions like hypertension, type 2 diabetes, or family history of heart disease. For these individuals, monitoring saturated fat intake isn't just a suggestion, it's a critical piece of self-care. Consider the numbers: frying a single egg and 1 tablespoon of butter adds about 7 grams of saturated fat to your meal. Pair that with the egg yolk's natural cholesterol content, about 186 milligrams per large egg, and a seemingly innocent breakfast starts to look less benign. Now imagine this as a daily ritual over a week. That's 49 grams of saturated fat from butter alone, not counting the eggs themselves or any other foods in your diet. Stretch that across a year, and you're looking at over 2,500 grams of saturated fat from this one habit, a staggering load for your arteries to bear. But here's where the story takes an uplifting turn. You don't have to bid farewell to eggs to safeguard your well-being. Eggs remain a nutritional powerhouse brimming with benefits that make them worth keeping on your plate. Each one delivers high-quality protein to maintain muscle mass, choline to support brain function, lutein and NZ his aunt, and for eye health and vital nutrients like vitamins B12 and D, all of which are especially valuable as we age. The key isn't to abandon eggs, but to reimagine how you cook them, shifting away from methods that pile on unnecessary fats and toward ones that let their natural goodness shine. So what are the smart alternatives? Boiling eggs is a classic fuss-free option, whether you prefer them soft and runny or hard-boiled. For grab-and-go convenience, they require no added fat and can be prepped in batches for the week ahead. Poaching, meanwhile, yields a tender, silky texture that feels almost decadent, all without a drop of oil or butter. Both methods lock in the egg's nutrients while keeping your cardiovascular system free of extra strain. If you're still craving that pan-fried experience, the crisp edges, the satisfying flip, invest in a top-notch non-stick skillet with a quick spritz of olive oil. Spray a heart-healthy one unsaturated fat, or even no oil at all. You can achieve that same golden finish without drowning your egg. And so, saturated fat, another game changer. Air fryers. These modern marvels can mimic the crispy fried texture you love, using just a fraction of the oil. Blending convenience with health-conscious cooking. For many over 60 who have made the switch, the pay is tangible. They often notice less morning sluggishness or bloating, more consistent energy to tackle the day, and over time even better cholesterol readings at their annual checkups. And here's the best part: once your palate adjusts, you might find that eggs cooked without a heavy butter coating taste fresher, lighter, and more vibrant, unmasked by the richness that wants to find them. Elevate the experience further with nutrient-packed sides: a few slices of creamy avocado, a handful of sautéed spinach kissed with garlic, or burst of juicy fresh tomatoes. Suddenly you've crafted a breakfast that's not just kind to your heart, but deeply satisfying to your soul. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time at this stage of life. Every bite carries a little more weight and a little more consequence. The beauty lies in how small intentional tweaks to familiar routines can yield outsized rewards. So the next time your hand hovers over the butter dish, pause for a moment of reflection. Ask yourself, is this habit nourishing me, or quietly chipping away at the vitality I've worked so hard to preserve? You've earned a lifetime of wisdom. Let it steer your fork, your skillet, and your future. Now let's widen the lens to another breakfast classic, the timeless duo of eggs paired with bacon or sausage. For so many over 60, this combination is woven into the fabric of their lives, a hearty, savory ritual. The country's memories of bustling Sunday brunches, roadside diner stops, or quiet mornings with loved ones. It's comfort food at its finest, a plate that warms both body and spirit. But as much as this pairing tugs at the heartstrings, it's worth peering beneath the surface. The truth is, this beloved tradition could be a stealthy adversary to your health as you age, and the culprit isn't just the eggs, it's what's sizzling alongside them. Eggs, as we've established, are nutritional gems. When prepared thoughtfully, their protein bolsters aging muscles, their choline sharpens memory, and their vitamins fortify your system. The real trouble brews in the company they keep. Bacon and sausage, those irresistible processed meats that elevate breakfast to a feast. While they deliver bold flavor and a satisfying crunch, they also carry a heavy burden of saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, compounds linked to inflammation. High bill pressure, and even an increased risk of chronic diseases. Over time, pair these with eggs cooked in butter or grease, and what starts as a comforting meal can morph into a daily double whammy for your heart, quietly stacking the odds against you with every delicious bite. When you pair the inherent cholesterol found in eggs with the addition of processed meats like bacon or sausage, you're crafting a breakfast that might feel indulgent and fulfilling in the moment, but could quietly and steadily elevate your risk for serious life-altering health conditions down the road. The World Health Organization has conducted extensive research showing that habitual consumption of processed meats, think crispy bacon strips or juicy sausage links, is directly associated with a markedly increased likelihood of developing or rectal cancer. This isn't an attempt to frighten you with exaggerated claims. It's a conclusion grounded in rigorous scientific evidence. For older adults, this risk becomes even more pressing. As we age, our bodies grow increasingly vulnerable to the inflammation and oxidative stress triggered by the chemical compounds in these meats, such as nitrates and nitrites, which are used as preservatives and flavor enhancers. But the concerns don't end with cancer risk. Processed meats like bacon and sausage are also packed with sodium, often so much that just a few savory bites can nudge you perilously close to, or even well beyond, the recommended daily sodium limit of 2,300 milligrams, or ideally 1,500 milligrams for those with certain health conditions. This is no small matter, especially if you're navigating challenges like high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney dysfunction, conditions that become increasingly prevalent after the age of 60. The double whammy of excessive sodium and saturated fat and these meats places undue strain on your cardiovascular system, forcing your heart and blood vessels to work harder than they should. Over time, this added pressure heightens your risk of devastating events like strokes or heart attacks. Picture this: you've barely finished your morning coffee, and before the clock strikes 9 a.m. you've already asked your heart to clock in for overtime. You might counter with, "I don't eat bacon or sausage every single day," and that's a fair point. Moderation is a step in the right direction. However, even indulging a few times a week can accumulate long-term consequences if these habits persist unchecked over months or years. The silver lining here is that you don't have to abandon the idea of a hearty, satisfying breakfast altogether. The key lies in reimagining what satisfying really means for your body and your future. Instead of defaulting to processed meats as the go-to companion for your eggs, consider swapping them out for nutrient-dense, heart-supportive alternatives that deliver flavor and fuel without the hidden costs. Envision a vibrant breakfast plate, fluffy scrambled eggs sitting alongside a generous handful of sautéed spinach bursting with iron and magnesium, and a scattering of cherry tomatoes, their bright juices adding a pop of flavor and vitamin C. Add a few velvety slices of avocado rich in monounsaturated fats that promote healthy cholesterol levels, and you've got a meal that is visually appealing as it is delicious. If you're craving something a bit more substantial, try spooning your eggs over so teeming bowl of steel-cut oats sprinkled with nutty flax seeds or chia seeds, both loaded with omega-3s and fiber to keep you full and your heart happy. Alternatively, pair your eggs with a thick slice of whole grain toast topped with earthy grilled mushrooms, offering a savory depth that rivals any sausage patty. These options are just healthy in the abstract sense. They're genuinely enjoyable, especially when you season them thoughtfully with herbs, spices, or a drizzle of olive oil, and serve them fresh. Here's the surprising part: many people who make the switch find that after a few weeks, they don't even miss the bacon or sausage. Their palates adapt, their mornings feel less sluggish, and their bodies begin to reflect the change. and energy levels climb. Mental fog lifts and routine ups often reveal tangible benefits: low LDL cholesterol, more stable blood pressure, and steadier blood sugar readings. Beyond the numbers, there's a deeper reward, a sense of empowerment. You're no longer at the mercy of fleeting cravings or outdated habits. You're actively choosing what's best for yourself. The aim here isn't to strip away the pleasure of eating, far from it. It's about reclaiming that pleasure in a way that safeguards your well-being for years to come. Food should nourish you, not act as a slow, insidious drain on your vitality, masquerading as comfort, especially as you move through the stage of life. You deserve meals that give back as much as you put into them, dishes that sustain you physically and emotionally. So the next time you're cracking those eggs into a pan, pause for a second to consider what's joining them on your plate. It might feel like a minor decision moment, but that single choice could be the tipping point between merely managing your health and truly thriving as you age. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Eggs themselves are often hailed as one of nature's most remarkable foods, and it's easy to see why. They're affordable, endlessly versatile, and a powerhouse of high-quality protein, delivering essential nutrients like B vitamins for energy, selenium for immune support, calling for brain health, and lutein and for eye protection. But even with all these benefits, there's a nuance to consider, particularly for those over 60. The catch lies in the yolk, that golden core where most of the egg's cholesterol reason. I'd clocking in at about 185 milligrams per large egg. For a young, healthy adult with no underlying issues, this might not raise an eyebrow, but if you're managing elevated cholesterol, hypertension, or a genetic predisposition to heart disease, those milligrams start to carry more weight. It's not that eggs are inherently bad. They can fit into a balanced diet. The real issue is context: how many jokes you're eating, how often, and what else is on your plate or in your day. That 185 milligrams of cholesterol might not seem like much on its own, but when you factor in the rest of your diet, say buttered toast, a side of sausage, or creamy dessert later, it adds up over time. This cumulative cholesterol load can contribute to the buildup of arterial plaque, spark inflammation, and pave the way for chronic cardiovascular problems. For older adults whose metabolic processes may not clear cholesterol as efficiently, this slow drip can become a silent risk. The trick is balance, enjoying eggs, mindfully keeping an eye on your overall intake, and pairing them with foods that support rather than sabotage your long-term health. The truth is, many people hold a common misconception that because eggs come straight from nature, they're inherently harmless. Regardless of how many you consume daily, you might hear someone boasts proudly, "I eat 3 eggs every single morning, and I feel fantastic." And sure, in the short term, they might genuinely feel energized and satisfied. Eggs are, after all, a powerhouse of nutrition. But here's the catch: cholesterol doesn't come with a built-in alarm system. It doesn't politely nod you when your levels begin to climb, nor does it wave a red flag when your arteries start to narrow ever so slight. Lately, instead, it works in stealth mode, accumulating quietly, layer by layer, over months or even years. Then one day it might announce itself in the form of a sudden heart attack, a debilitating stroke, or an alarming figure on your latest blood test results. This is precisely why taking a proactive, balanced approach to your diet becomes medical, especially once you cross the threshold of 60 years old, when your body's resilience isn't quite what it used to be. The good news: achieving that balance doesn't require you to swear off eggs entirely or banish them from your breakfast plate. You can still save them as a regular part of your routine, just with a touch more mindfulness and intention. For instance, if your cholesterol levels are already teetering on the high side, or if you're taking medication to manage them. One simple strategy is to cap your intake at 1 whole egg per day, craving a bigger portion to fill you up. No problem. Combine that single whole egg with 2 or 3 egg whites. This way you still get the rich, satisfying texture of a hearty scramble, a fluffy omelette, or perfectly cooked sunny side up, but you're slashing the cholesterol content significantly. A single egg yolk contains about 186 milligrams of cholesterol, while the white has none at all. This small practical tweak can keep your total dietary cholesterol within a safer range, all while delivering the high-quality protein your body craves to maintain muscle mass, support energy levels, and keep you feeling strong and capable. Of course, eggs don't exist in a vacuum. Your broader eating habits play a massive role too. If your day is packed with other cholesterol-heavy or high-fat culprits like generous slabs of cheese, fatty cuts of red meat, or full-fat dairy products such as cream or butter, then piling on multiple egg yolks can tip the scales from treat to trouble. On the flip side, if your overall diet leans heart-healthy, brimming with vibrant fruits, crisp vegetables, fiber-rich whole grains, lean proteins like fish or poultry, and beneficial fats from sources like avocados or nuts, then sneaking in an extra yolk here and there isn't likely to derail your health. The goal isn't to live in fear of food or to demonize eggs. It's about cultivating awareness and mastering portion control. It's about asking yourself, what's the right amount for me? Most doctors and registered dietitians don't issue blanket bans like never touch an egg yolk again. Instead, they urge older adults to zoom out and consider the full context of their diet and lifestyle. They encourage a personalized approach. How much is too much for my unique body, my medical history, my goals? And let's not overlook the unsung hero of the egg. The white egg whites are nutritional gem, pure lean protein with 0 fat, 0 cholesterol, and a measly 17 calories apiece. Far from bland, they're a blank canvas. Season them with a pinch of smoked paprika or garlic powder, or saucing a handful of char. For veggies like diced bell peppers, come allies to onions or tender spinach leaves, and suddenly you got a dish that's as flavorful as it is kind your heart. Over time, many people who make the shift report feeling less weighed down after meals, enjoying steadier energy throughout the day, and even shedding a few stubborn pounds, all without waving goodbye to their beloved breakfast state. Cool. So the next time you crack open that carton of eggs, take a beat, reflect on your body's needs, your health history, and the kind of vibrant, active future you're working toward. You don't have to abandon the foods that bring you comfort and joy. You just might need to reimagine them a little. This isn't about deprivation or rigid rules. It's about making informed, empowering choices that safeguard your well-being without stripping away the pleasure of eating. At this stage of life, health and happiness shouldn't be at odds. They should complement each other beautifully. One thoughtfully prepared